It's been a period packed full of drama, political intrigues and suspense. 1 year of legislative ayes and nays at the 8th National Assembly as the upper and lower chamber presents their scorecard. Questions arise over how the activities of the legislature have reflected in the lives of Nigerians. And more calls to President Buhari on the implementation of the Justice Uwais Committee report on electoral reforms. A group in Lagos says if Buhari's change agenda and anti-corruption fight will be holistic and more effective, it must reflect on Nigerian elections. That's our focus on the program. Many thanks for joining in, everyone. Well, let's begin tonight with what may now appear as the fulfillment of the Buhari and APC government campaign promises. That's our focus on part of our focus on politics today. Today, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, at the Presidential Villa launched a phase in the social intervention program the government promised Nigerians. Federal government is set to commence recruitment of 500,000 unemployed graduates for teaching jobs nationwide. The presidency says the 500 billion naira social investment program will kick off in earnest, and the Buhari presidency will start taking applications online for positions in the 500,000 direct teacher jobs scheme through an internet portal named npower.gov.ng. Well, also, Nigeria's first national homegrown school feeding program, which the federal government is aimed to affect about 5.5 million Nigerians in the first year of its operation, will be rolling out soon in several states as well. We'll bring more on those later, so stay with Channels Television. Remember to join the conversation on Twitter. It's at CTV Politics, and the hashtag to follow to track up with the discussion is hashtag Politics Today. Now let's bring you some of the top political stories we've been following right now.
Political roundup on Channels Television. Here are your top political stories this time.
President Muhammadu Buhari has transmitted about 50 names for ambassadorial positions to the National Assembly. The Senate today says it has received a list of 47 ambassadorial nominees from the President. President of the Senate, Senator Bukola Saraki, who confirmed the receipt of the name, says that the nominees are all career civil servants and promised that the screening and confirmation of the nominees will commence soon. And more appointments are being considered in the Buhari administration as the presidency approved the appointment of a special advisor on planning, Mr. Ben Akabueze, as the new Director General of the Budget Office of the Federation. The presidency says Mr. Akabueze will take over from Mr. Tijani Mohammed Abdullahi, who will now serve as Special Advisor to the President on Planning and will continue to work with the Minister of Budget and National Planning. The two men are said to have joined the Ministry of Budget and National Planning in February this year. The People's Democratic Party has assigned portfolios to members of the Senator Makarfi-led Caretaker Committee. It is known that Senator Ahmed Makarfi is the chairman, while Senator Ben Obi was appointed as the secretary. The members will now serve in the following capacity. Prince Dayo Adeyeye will be the party's spokesperson on the committee, while Aisha Aliyu will handle the women and youth positions. Senator Abdul Ningi is assigned to act in the organization and mobilization capacity. Senator Odion Ubesia will handle finance, treasury, and audit, while Kabir Usman will be the party's legal advisor on the committee. Meanwhile, a bill seeking to reduce the qualification age for some key executive and legislative positions, as stated in the 1999 Constitution as amended, has passed second reading in the House of Representatives. The bill, which seeks to alter Section 65, 106, 131 and 177 of the 1999 Constitution, was sponsored by Honorable Tony Onwolu. The alteration proposes a qualification age of 30 years for the office of the President, state governors and senators, while 25 years has been set for federal and state legislators. The bill also seeks to introduce independent candidacy as part of Nigeria's electoral process.
Throughout the history, young people have been at the forefront of promoting democratic development and nation building. Nigeria's pre-independence struggle was championed by young nationalists like Dr. Herbert Macaulay, Ernest Okoli, Chief H.O. Davis, J.C. Vaughan, Oba Samuel Akinsanya, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. These nationalists were reported to be in their youthful age when they led the independence struggle for this country. In South Africa, the voting age is 18, population of 54 million. Voting population is 34 million. The South African Constitution aligns voting age with eligibility age, meaning if you can vote, you can also be voted for. In Ghana, the voting age, 18 years. That's what they have. With 24 million population, voting population is 13 million. Their age requirement for their parliament is 21 years, our neighboring brother.
And you're up to date. Those are your top political stories you need to know.
Many thanks for staying with us on Politics Today. Remember to join the conversation on Twitter at @CTVPolitics, #PoliticsToday. Well, since the new chairman of INEC took office, we have had few inconclusive elections, and this has generated more and more concerns with Nigerians. But the Commission has said it is a sign of an improvement in the national electoral process. Several calls for several years on the need to reform Nigeria's electoral laws keep pouring in. And today in Lagos, a group led by former NADECO leader Ayo Okpadokun is asking President Buhari to implement the Justice Uwais report.
That even senior legal practitioners have been periodically reported of late to be fixing money into the coded accounts of judges presiding over cases where their claims matters are being heard is capable enough. The struggle and campaign for new electoral reform must therefore resume with Mr. President Buhari as he further gives effect to his mantra for change from the injurious past and shows his determination to bequeath to Nigerians a legacy for free, fair, and credible elections as perhaps one of his greatest achievements. This will add to his globally recognized commitment to wage an unrelenting war against corruption and to re-establish discipline in our polity as a necessity for increased opportunities for better quality of life for all Nigerians. All stakeholders must kick-start the necessary and compelling campaign for electoral amendment through the usage of the critical recommendations of Justice Uwais panel reports. Finally, Justice Uwais Electoral Reform Panel recommendations are sufficiently intellectual and technically credible and positive enough to help us conduct elections that can meet with international best practices if enacted into law. Yes, we can do so, and posterity will accord lasting commendation on President Buhari and his government for turning around the misfortune of Nigeria.
Election funds being made available to INEC should be on quarterly basis during election seasons to enable it to meet critical timelines. Of course, that a special election tariff be placed so that they don't rely on government money alone. That a special election tariff be placed on all tax-generating institutions like MTN, Glo, Airtel, Etisalat, and other privately owned institutions.
Well, there are calls by various rights activists for the implementation of the Justice Uwais report for restructuring of Nigeria's electoral system. Well, we will take a moment now, and when we come back, today is June 9, and the 8th National Assembly clocked 1 year. We'll see how they've fared so far. We'll take a look at the scorecard. Stay with us.